Yeah, hi. So, welcome to Sridhar's newsletter number 35 and to our podcast show called Minimalist Techie. And I appreciate you being here so we can connect weekly on interesting topics. And please add your email ID to the either to the podcast or either to my Substack link so that you can directly get this podcast or either the newsletter directly into your inbox. And for the fans over our podcast show Minimalist Techie on Apple Podcast or either on the Spotify wherever you listen to it, or you can always just save the link to my site sridhargaripati.substack.com so that you can directly come here and click on the link to play. So this is for the people who really not really into the reading. So this is for all the users who requested to have an audio version of the newsletter, so they can simply click and here to listen to it. So this weekly newsletter is mostly about the articles, books, videos, etc. I read or watch, or my views on the different topics which revolves around my head during the week. Now let's dive into this week's reads. So, this particular podcast, I'm going to do only one topic uh, because I wanted this to be in a separate topic itself in our playlist because this is very particular. Yeah, let's give me the topic what it is. So basically, the topic revolves around the Wall Street Journal, who actually leaked many of the uh, details from the Facebook employees, especially communicating that why Instagram is toxic for the teen girls, and I would say social media itself is a toxic. Doesn't matter which age group one belongs to, but definitely my entire last week, Wall Street Journal was actually releasing one by one different leak stories, and it's getting too messy, and definitely it's a topic to get discussed as a standalone among all our users. So we all know social media is toxic, and so basically on September 15th, the newspaper issue of the Wall Street Journal did an article titled "Facebook Knows Instagram is Toxic for Teen Girls." Its research shows internal documents shows a youth mental health issue that Facebook plays down in public. So Facebook knows this particular issue that Instagram is toxic for teen girls for more than a couple of years now. But all of these documents are actually hidden in somewhere in the servers. So now as Wall Street Journal identified this particular leak, and once that leak has been communicated, they have been released to the press. Facebook now has deleted that entire server which has this type of content, this type of research, what the organization does. And even when they knew that this is a toxic, it's impacting not just the teen girls, teen boys, adults. We already know it's toxic irrespective of what age group it belongs to. But I'm really concerned, especially if at all it's impacting the children, teenagers. It's really impacting because they are still not yet matured enough to make their own decisions. So, and it's pretty painful to see that this is the world we all live in. Sorry to say, my very first thought reading the title from the Wall Street Journal that Facebook did a research, my really first thought was, do we really need a research for this? Any user who is on this app know this already. Their family, friends, all of them know already, right? My first thought went like everyone knows that it's bad for them, even if they don't realize. The people all around them knows the issue of social media over a person's life. Any heavy user of these apps, you can clearly notice their inability to concentrate. They show high level of anxiety and temper. All their social interactions is around the content they consumed either on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, and whatnot. I would say social media is toxic, that's period. Just listen to any tech giant leaders who are part of social media companies and also our parents. They will never allow their kids to use any of the social media apps. Okay, I would recommend all the users, if you have an access to Netflix. There is an last year one show got released, the documentary movie called Social Dilemma. I guess we talked about Social Dilemma in one of our newsletter earlier, and you can see those content creators who created the Facebook like button, the Facebook pages, and all those content, those developers who actually created those type of uh, addictive features. They themselves then don't allow their kids at all to use any of the social media apps. Doesn't matter which app we are talking about. It might be in a Facebook, it might be Twitter, it might be in a Snapchat, Instagram, right? So maybe here and there, YouTube is allowed due to the school programs, because many school programs, educational content, and library, most of the free content is actually published directly onto the YouTube, right? So all the functionalities which are built into these apps are basically created on a psychology. So within a first look and use, a person is expected to stick around, swiping up and up to consume the content at a pace that the time is completely unknown. Basically, it's an instant gratification to any user, and that's the whole intention of these applications. Is that, yeah, the app is free to you, but their whole intention and their entire business model is running through the ads. So their whole intention is as much time as you can spend on these platforms, the more you will stick with an open app and spending your time with the screen light on. That's their winning strategy. So they're playing with the human psychology itself, giving certain functionalities which will actually make them. It might be in a YouTube recommended videos, it might be on a Facebook like comment approach, or one video after another related videos being coming up, uh, and yeah, and those multiple pages being created dividing countries into different complete right and complete left groups. So really, it's a pretty bad for entire humanity, so that someone is utilizing a psychology to run their business. Basically, this is the world we live in. On internet, people live a beautiful life, and when you pick up a phone and make a call, they can hardly do a 2-minute conversation. Also, those 2 minutes small talk is also based upon the content they have posted on internet. Yes, I'm not kidding. Just talk to the person who is so heavily on these social media apps, and when you really like to talk to them, they really cannot make a social interaction with the people around them. Yeah. So thereafter, there hardly much in conversation, as all that shown on internet is not a reality. The reality is it's toxic. At a level of, if a bike driving or a car driving is not safe for you, and you may get killed while driving or having an accident, social media also does the same thing. Only difference is it's a slow kill. Coming back to Wall Street Journal article, researchers inside Instagram began studying youngsters' app usage, and they found, so this is the stats from the article itself, 32% of teenage girls have mentioned that they felt bad about their bodies. Instagram made them feel worse. This was presented in companies' presentations multiple times. Let me read it again. 32% of teenage girls have mentioned they feel bad about their bodies. Instagram makes them feel worse. I'm not sure how come such an harsh point is been overlooked by such an organization, leadership teams and employees, and whatnot. Right? How exactly they completely overlook and not thrown this presentation, which did this analysis away into their remote servers. Instagram creates an unrealistic picture how your body should look like, how you should live your life. Yeah, I'm not kidding. This is a pretty true statement. Within 3 years on the multiple data analysis, and one common point stood out as harmful for the teen girls. Report says last 3 years of the data analysis, it creates body image issues worse for 1 in 3 teen girls. We make body image issues worse for 1 in 3 teen girls. That's really a big shocking factor, and an action should be taken on the organization's privacy, on the organization policy, how they run their business. Teenagers, especially, they often feel addicted and know that what they are seeing is bad for their mental health, but feel unstoppable to stop themselves. Yeah, I'm going to publish the Wall Street Journal a link in our show notes. So you please go through it. So I'm just giving the one of the first link what they have released on September 15th. Look for the further that week's releases so that you can read a little bit in detail about it. See, in 5 presentations over 18 months to this spring, the researchers conducted what they call teen mental health deep dive. Right? Basically, in all of these studies, they came to a single conclusion that some of the problems are actually very specific to Instagram and not social media more broadly. That is specifically true concerning so called social comparison, which is when people assess their own value in relation to the attractiveness, wealth, success, and others. See, just think about it. Like 1 in 3 teen girls actually feel in a they have a body image issues or feel worse about their own body. How bad it is for their physical and the mental health itself, and it's going to do for our future generation if we are making our teenagers feel like this. See, basically the problem is their core product itself. Just just say there are many businesses like right now in the social media. It might be in a Facebook, running through a pages, running through your images, videos, YouTube, one content after one content, uh, your video recording, Twitter, following certain topics, and so following certain members. There's some short level of description. So you really don't require a complete your focused attention to spend your time, because 140 characters is too small to simply quickly consume it and move on to the next one. So your mind is exactly getting refreshing every 2 times. Just try to, if you ask some kid to read in a textbook, after 30 minutes they say I'm getting sleepy, no, I'm not able to concentrate. But here they're only limiting to 140, so that you are never getting into that outside of your mind focus, because your focus is getting resetting every 140 characters itself. So it doesn't matter which app we talk about. Basically, see, especially Instagram, their core product itself is show pics with an enhanced filter. Yeah, basically to show the pictures in a pretty nice, basically a full photo within a background. Yeah, Snapchat. If you take an example, Snapchat was in half an mostly face and your half issue, but Instagram actually allows you to post entire background so that your full body view. So that's what leads into people having body issues. So Instagram made the photos the app main focus with filters that made it very easy for the users to edit the images, those default options. So that you can enhance your picture image, you can enhance your face, you can enhance your nose, you can enhance your background, whatnot. So it later added videos, feeds of algorithmically chosen content and tools that touched up the people's faces. I feel like I'm too big. I'm not pretty enough. That's what one of the teen uh, has told those Facebook researchers. It's make the teenager feels that they are insecure about their own body, even though they are very lean, skinny, pretty much very good in a healthy images. Just go to these apps and how exactly the algorithm works. That itself is in a, although however they say their algorithm is pretty good enough, it's a pretty lame algorithm, right? So if, and that is why I'm saying is Uh, if you just look into by accident into one of the small video of how exactly vegan is looking at, entire content algorithm thinks that you're really into the vegan, and you're thrown with hundreds of videos and photos related to the vegan ideology, and suddenly uh, you're completely into that cult of following the vegan. So I'm not saying going vegan isn't bad, I'm just saying that's how. So just this is just so you are actually impacting a person food eating habits. So how messy it is, right? You're making someone else person who just looked into for a couple of videos to see, okay, I need to work out at home. So they just scanned over their app and look into what particular workout videos I can do at home. Just they have seen one or two, and suddenly you're bombarding them with thousands of additional videos, and the content is so fast at them that they really feel insecure about their own body, because everyone who is posting as a content creator, they are pretty hardcore workout personality. They are pretty they have good six pack, eight pack, and they try to show their entire body to making sure that this is how a person should look like. That's what the very few one or two that learning video what people gets into, to basically to learn about their workout. Looking that feed continuously makes them feel insecure about their body themselves, which is pretty messy thing to have in an app, and impacts humanity itself. See, the tendency to share only the best moments, and a pressure to look perfect, right? And that's what they have created such an addictive product that can send teens spiraling towards eating disorders as well, right? As unhealthy sense of their own body choices and depression. March 2020, in one of their document, they mentioned the research states that it wants that the explore page, which serves user photos and videos, are curated by an algorithm, can send users deep into a content that can be very harmful. Not just Instagram here, Snapchat does the same thing, Twitter does the same thing, YouTube does the same thing. Click into one video, don't know which dark place you're going to sit. You're going to be. You'll be becoming that type of person. Even even not just the teenagers, even the adult who know in and out of these things. Even after a couple of videos looking into it, suddenly a person comes to me, oh, my Indian heritage is damn good, my Indian temples are like this, my this is what it's supposed to be, these other people have done like this, uh, these other countries have exploited us. Oh my god, you're changing that entire. The person was never into those topics. Just because they watched one of the documentaries, suddenly you are making them so much into one type of an occult one, so that their entire week and their entire day-to-day discussions are actually revolves around their topics. You basically those topics changes the person's persona itself. Talk about other youngster, what they say. Yeah, basically how was we had one discussion with another youngster saying, please stay away from these apps. The 13-year-old said, no, it's good for her. She doesn't watch any of that bad content. I'm not sure what bad content she's saying, but she clearly knows she is into school. And she says that I only watch my related fun videos, or some Rangoli competitions, or some funny videos to myself. But or I look into some learning content to learn some of the my my coursework related content and all that. So what she says is, it's only the app is bad only if at all you look into certain type of content. If you see, if you see a bad, you'll get in a bad content. That's simple that algorithm is. So just unknowingly some teenager has leaked into some bad content. They are thrown with now with hundreds of the bad content, right? That I'm not sure. I'll talk about myself itself. So I have been away since pretty long in this Facebook and Instagram, these type of apps. Yeah, and just because of I was I deactivated my account. Then somewhere when I started this Substack, I see that people are reading the Substack and hearing it. I'm also one of the content creator, but I'm very particular about the content which I post on my newsletter or what I talk about in my podcast. Right. So if something is going to harm, if the podcast is making addictive to someone, no, that's not my intention at all. My intention, everyone start that's the biggest problem, I guess. I'm also giving my reasoning, uh, because I'm also content creator. So many of these bigger organizations start with an intention, right? Yeah, it's a socially, you can talk to any person anywhere in the world, you can connect to anyone in the world, you are more connected to the news, you know what's really happening, you can do fact check if you would like to, right? But the problem with the algorithm is, see, I'm a Telugu person and I'm not really into any movies. I really don't care about any BS about movie gossips and all that. But if I go into that explore page just because and I'm an Indian and I'm a Telugu person, I, not sure how yeah, algorithm decides based upon my location and all the privacy details what I had given. My explore page is all shown with the videos what celebrity life is living. I'm going. Do you expect me to go and scan each one of those and feel, oh my god, this guy has a bigger house, I should have the bigger house. This guy has a bigger car, I should have a bigger car. How it's a so lame life, so one person can live it up. That's how the bad the content is. This algorithm, not sure how much they say they are damn good algorithm, but it's a ridiculous algorithm because they generate bad content and sends people into the dark side of the web. See, we live in an Instagram era where it looks like everyone is getting prettier and prettier on the outside and uglier on the inside. Yeah, that's true, because that's what these researchers are also pointing out. Yeah. Our biggest problem is, see, even I use the app. I'm also an user of the Facebook. Problem is these apps are having a monopoly in the system, right? Uh, that the whole problem is you really cannot get away with it. That's true, yes, because I'm a content creator. If I'm just going to write and publish my own newsletter and the podcast, who is going to write it? I'm not there. I'm not one of those a journalist who writes on New York Times or Wall Street Journal, who people are subscribed to and they read thoroughly as their first day. During their first day daytime, they'll visit these newspapers, get their headlines and all that, right? So I'm not. So this is so people like me, if I need to reach to a greater audience, I need to use a particular platform where many people are there. Yeah, that's the biggest problem is that even if we try to give a solution for this, there is, if we create an open platform, right? So it's not very easy because everyone has to stop using these apps, or everyone has to limit certain type of usage on these apps, then something can get changed. But no, if few people are taking the decision to deactivate their accounts, getting out of these media, or maybe visiting, setting certain time limits, maybe like me, I visit only once in a week or bi-weekly whenever I need to post some from my Substack content, right? If I'm posting something on my newsletter, if I need to share my podcast somewhere, I log on to these apps and publish it. So people like me who are actually getting deactivated or log in once in a weekly or bi-weekly basis, deleted the apps on their mobile phones, that's not going to change because there are still billions of the people in the world, and it's not a one-time solution. The problem is, if you need to connect with everyone, if I need to connect with everyone in my family, everyone in my friends, where exactly I'll find? Yeah, I'm going to find everyone either in a Facebook, either in a Twitter, wherever they're active, or Instagram, or WhatsApp, right? So these companies have a monopoly in that case. So it's no longer an open web. I guess that's biggest change what we require in the next feature of web internet generation, that we should be having that this monopoly should go away. You should be able to, yeah, if your whole intention is talk to someone on the phone, yeah, I'm not saying, I'm not completely against this app. These apps have a positive features as well, right? So you can talk to the people. I can just sitting in the US, and I can ring a phone, I can do a video calling to my mother, and I can have any conversation with my cousin sitting with the other side of the globe, right? So it is having they have many positive scenarios as well. I use YouTube to look into some learning videos. I look into for my interview preparation, so those are n number of positive as well, but only to the person who can make a decision how to use these apps, right? But the biggest issue is, what about the teenagers? What about the youngster, 5 year old, 10 year old, right? What about them who cannot make a decision yet? They who cannot, uh, because these teenagers, they feel that if they come out of these apps, they feel that they are missing out. What's happening in their friends group? What's happening in their school? So they feel entirely disconnected. So even they know that these apps are impacting them. They're spending literally 4 to 5 hours in a day on these apps. That's pretty, pretty ridiculous that a person is spending 4 to 5 hours of their time per day on these apps. And just because they feel disconnected, even they dislike the kids, teenagers, they all are coming back and back to these apps. Yeah. So biggest problem I would say is, again, the organizations. They might started with a well intention, but they clearly know that this is getting messy when those psychology level of features are getting created. They know this is going wrong when they do the analysis about how what type of users are coming up, right? So Instagram is much more clicker product between those teenagers, the people in the age group of 13 to 25. So they know it's the most used part. Even the total number of users are reduced in Facebook. They know that Instagram is a big revenue generator for them. So knowing all this harmful effects that it impacts, the most ridiculous thing is, even this organization doesn't agree. Either they don't comment at all, or either in this case even they comment. They said no, this is more like see and saw effect. uh, a person, even they are being impacted, they yeah, they are impacted maybe for a day, but the next day they see some other positive video and they move on. So they say it's not really any impactful stuff on it. You just say to some kid who is actually spending 4 to 5 hours on your apps, and wasting his entire time, and getting that hollow person without having any social interaction with other people. Yeah. Yeah, going all this, and Facebook has released a statement that they're in the process of making a version especially for Instagram. I really say, oh my God, these guys really don't understand. They know the problem rather than, this is where the last week topic, where China actually banned the gaming, right? It looks a little harsh for a democratic country. If you're from India, if you're from US, to pass a certain type of law. But sometime I look at it, China is doing damn well. Those are all those type of rules are actually should come and get implemented in in our countries as well. Yeah, they are generating another version specifically Instagram. This itself is a waste of time, waste of it's impacting here their physical health, mental health, and they are creating another product just to attract even for the kids. See, it's not really easy, I would say, how to get out of this mess. If you're a parent like me, my son is just a 2 year old, so I'm not really worried about it right now. But sometimes even my son watches something on YouTube, and he's very particular to watch certain type of content. that what triggers a bell to me that I'm also doing something wrong to him, right? So the screen time is actually impacting parents a lot, raising the kids properly, and this is going to get messier and messier unless we really fix that entire internet and this web, how exactly this monopoly among the organizations and all that. So so what you basically, yeah, we know that we are worried. We, when you read this type of a news, when you read this type of a research, you know that this is so harmful, but after a week or so you're again back to it. You're allowing your kids to use it, you are using it, you are spending time on screen. So what else you can do, right? I would say a couple of things is, as an adult, yes, you can go from 100 to entirely zero. You can completely shut it off, the usage of an app, right? But you cannot do the same thing to your kid, right? So uh, so don't really allow your kid, like give them a smartphone or letting them download multiple social media apps. Consider letting your child sit with some adult person or some friend who really understand this, and set some guidelines to use a shared family device. Yeah. So so don't read this as keeping certain rules or too restrictive on your kids. You are doing for everyone's good. Yeah. So think about what is the most appropriate age for your child to start using this social media, and please try to curate their content. Review their weekly content usage as well, if at all you have to do. So review what exactly they are watching, because you really cannot keep eye on them day in and day out, right? So look into your child's not just the device usage. Please have a much more healthy relationship with your kids, because the impacts what we have seen is these type of application usages actually making your teenagers feeling some body image issues, especially for an app like Instagram. Then that app is not completely right for your kid. In that case, just simply get that app deleted out of it. Okay. So our kids can continue to use this because their friends are on it. So even though company rule says that, yeah, Facebook, unless you're not really an adult, but people still go ahead and find some alternate ways to get them created. So better have some type of rules, and have some type of blanket rule. If definitely, if your children are below 13 years of old, they should not be on a social media. It's a pretty strict thing for you. You can simply say it's against the law, and you can simply say to your kid it's not needed for them. But once they crosses that 13 years of age, let them not create their own account, but try to make them utilized on uh, family shared devices. Set time limits, that's pretty much needed, because rather than waiting for the mess to happen where kid will ending up spending 4 to 5 hours, set some time limits so that, like, you can relax your child to usage to certain type of content through your tablet, through your phone, on your laptop. And please enable the family sharing settings and set some time limit, say like 30 minutes. Go and watch your favorite show, or go and do your connect with your friends on the Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and all that. So if you want, so but do set the limits, and do make sure that you review their content usage as well. Don't take it as an privacy invasion. You are just taking care of your own kids, because these currently the applications what we have, you really cannot trust the ridiculous algorithms what we have in the market, right? Overall, what we can do is, at high level, is, if setting the time limits is something is not possible, then please talk to your teen. Please try to make them understand, curate their feed once in a while, see what type of content that explore page is showing them, and try to fix that, delete some history, and so that will actually enable them that the kids are not getting into the dark content. So that's all, I guess. Yeah, this is reason I know I'm going to shout a lot on this topic, because I was really angry when I read this Wall Street Journal topic on it, and definitely this entire. So that's the reason I wanted to keep this topic pretty separate, so that I don't combine with any other news. So I'm going to do another newsletter this week, so that we can discuss the other interesting topics. This might be a rant for someone, but yeah, I have to talk about it, and you need to read this Wall Street Journal reports. It's excellent journalism, I would say, and what they have been reported. It's please get familiar with yourself. It's not that only kids are impacted. Everyone, even your own spouse, might be impacted with too much of usage of the social media. So, so just your parents might be impacted. So yeah, yeah, I'm not kidding. Even the parents are impacted, who got very late into this type of usages. You will know, just look around, you will know many of your, just go to your YouTube page and see top trending 25 30 videos. You will see all the uh, 1980s 70s, or the old TV shows are actually running on it. Who is watching? Yes, that's what your parents, grandparents are the one who are watching the content, consuming, sleeping less than 8 hours in a day. So I don't think this topic will ever end for me, because I get so furious, especially on the topic like this. But yeah, I definitely want to call out this article, uh, and the series of the article what Wall Street Journal did this week as for the Facebook leaks. It seems to be bigger than the Cambridge uh, Analytica leak what happened for the election time. This seems to be a much bigger than that, because it's going to impact our next generation and our current generation for the further and further, unless the issue is being fixed. All right. So that's all from mine, especially on this topic. So let me know your comments, and please thanks for stopping by on our podcast show, Minimalist Techie. If you like, do subscribe uh, to our show. Thank you again. So stay safe, stay curious, and spread happiness. Thank you all. Bye.